Welcome back, Careblazer. In today's video, I want to share a topic that's inspired by a care course member. One of my care course members was talking about how there is a family wedding coming up and it's somebody she loves dearly, but because of her husband with dementia, she did not feel comfortable leaving him to go out of town where this wedding is at. She's left her husband in the past with different family members and it went horribly. She doesn't feel comfortable leaving her husband at this point in his disease state. And so she decided it's not in her or her husband's best interest for her to travel alone to go to this wedding, despite the fact that she really loves this family member getting married. And multiple other family members don't agree with her decision. Have you ever had this happen where you've made a decision about what is best for you to do given your situation as a Careblazer and other family members don't agree? And no matter how you try to explain it to them, no matter what you say, they still don't think you're making the right decision? That's what I want to talk about today. So this Careblazer basically asked me, how can she get her family members to understand? What can she do to help the family members understand that she just can't go to the wedding? She's also really struggling with the idea that several family members are upset with her for not making the decision that they want her to make. Are you ready for my input on this, Careblazer? You have to be okay with other people not getting it. You have to be okay with other people not totally understanding your reason, your rationale, and why you're doing what you're doing. In the end, Careblazer, people will believe whatever they want to believe. Trying to take a lot of your energy in convincing them, providing the rationale, is just not a worthwhile use of your energy. We could spend the next 30 minutes on this video of me talking about how it's unfair that more family and friends don't understand, that they're not supportive, that they don't get it. We could talk about how unfair it is that you even have to be in this position where you have to choose between being there for your loved one and being there for another family member. We could go on and on, I'm sure, for days down that track. But in the end, that's not a worthwhile conversation to have, because it ends up leaving you more frustrated, more resentful, more upset, more angry about the whole situation. If I thought that you continuing to provide rationale, explanation, justification for your decision would help, then I would say let's do it. Let's give it a try. But this is where you have to be really careful. This Careblazer is coming to me because she's already tried that route. I'm guessing for you, Careblazer, when a family member doesn't agree with something or they want you to do something that you don't feel comfortable with because you need to be with your loved one, I'm guessing you've probably already told them once or twice that you can't, or your reason why, and they're still not really in agreement. They still wish you'd make a different decision. So because they have already given you evidence that they're not going to change their mind, at least not in this moment, you trying to continue to change their mind does nothing but drain you and make you more frustrated. It doesn't feel good to sit around and think about how unfair things are. Just check in with yourself on that. Would that feel good? You might feel validated if I were to sit here and say, yeah, that's unfair. It should be different. I wish it was different. You might feel a little bit validated in the moment. But when you think about it, pause to think, does that really feel good to me? Does that really serve me to sit around and think about how unfair everything is and how my family members should just understand, trust me, believe me, and support me in my decision? Here's the big takeaway message for today. So long as people can have their own opinion, they will. So the focus isn't on how do you get everyone around you to fully believe and support what you're doing. The big goal is, how do you get comfortable and confident making your decisions, standing by your decisions, regardless of if anybody else is agreeing with you, supporting you, and being there for you? How do you just have your own back and staying confident that you're doing the right thing, even if other people don't agree? And here's the good news. Once you get to that place where you are no longer feeling like you have to force somebody to believe something that you want them to believe, or you have to try to force somebody to see your viewpoint, once you get to that place, things become so much easier for you. They come with a little bit more ease. There's not as much pressure on you trying to convince everybody. And when you start living from that place, Careblazer, the chances of your family and friends coming around and understanding and being able to see things more from your perspective are so much higher. You have such a better chance of them understanding where you're coming from than you trying to convince directly. A lot of times, a lot of Careblazers who've talked to me, they have even become defensive. Like when their family member asks them for, let's say, the second, third, fourth, fifth time, are you sure you can't come to this wedding? Why not? Like, we really want you to. And then the Careblazer becomes really defensive and starts to like really try to be even more forceful and direct about all the reasons why. This is where you start to see family members just start to fall apart and drift apart from one another. I don't want that to happen to you. When you have the confidence and you have your own back to show up in a way that you know is best for you and your loved one, you get to show up in a better way. When people question you and ask why maybe you can't do certain things, you get to calmly and confidently respond to them that it's just it's just not something you can do right now or that you're willing to do right now, and it's just not the chapter of life where you're going to be able to do all these things even though you wish you could. The work here is with you. I know you might not like this message, Careblazer, but what's the alternative? Continuing to try to convince everybody to understand and think the way that you think? That usually doesn't go over well, and I'm guessing it probably hasn't gone over well for you. Stay strong in your truth. You know what is best. Have your own back through this, Careblazer. I'll be back next week with another video. In the meantime, I would love to know if you've ever had to make a difficult caregiving decision that other family members and friends couldn't understand. Let me know by leaving a comment below. I'll be back next week with another video as always. And if you haven't already, be sure to download your Careblazer survival guide as well as hit the red subscribe button. Both are totally free and it helps other people find this channel and be able to get some help that they're looking for. All right, Careblazer, wishing you all the best. Hang in there. Bye.